Good morning and welcome to On the Spot News right here on Zimbabwe Daily. My name is Yvonne Muchaka. Let us take a look at the news making headlines. Demand tumbles as Zim dollar runs dry. Government green lights holiday lessons for exam classes only. Artuz leader granted $50,000 bail. Government disbands National Joint Negotiation Council. The Harare City Council runs out of water chemicals. Over 1,000 business operators arrested in Harare. Bulawayo councillors want parking system contract revised. Police to launch new anti-mushikashika blitz ahead of Heroes Holiday. Killer T bouncer commits suicide reportedly over a cheating wife. And in sports, Willard Katsande has retired from professional football. And now for the news in detail. A cocktail of measures introduced by fiscal and monetary authorities with the aim of bringing exchange rate and price stability in the economy have constrained spending, with aggregate demand significantly slumping, particularly in the formal sector, Business Weekly can reveal. Highly placed sources in government say more measures targeting government suppliers will be rolled out soon to reinforce existing ones. 2 weeks ago, Finance and Economic Development Minister Mthuli Ncube revealed that government had launched an investigation to unearth illicit dealings by government contractors that were overcharging for goods and services. Mthuli revealed that some suppliers who supply goods and services to government institutions are channeling the funds they receive to the illegal foreign exchange. Sources, however, say government has since started validating contracts signed by parastatals to see if government was not prejudiced. Government is also expecting to stop making advance or cash payments to suppliers and in the process limiting the supply of local dollar on the market. CCC has pointed out that the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is not at all concerned about spreading the voter registration process to all citizens. CCC has also slammed ZAC's lackadaisical approach to electoral matters. Speaking at a media briefing in Harare on Thursday, CCC officials Fadzai Mahere and Ian Makone challenged citizens to push for reforms from all angles. Police claim Government has refused to bow down to pressure from parents who want children to attend holiday lessons, saying the practice was long outlawed. Holiday lessons have long been banned because government felt that they had given rise to corrupt activities at schools. However, government has given a green light to holiday lessons for exam classes only. Government has yielded to demands by civil society to disband the National Joint Negotiating Council, which the workers claim was not representing their interest. Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare Minister Paul Mavima confirmed that government was replacing the council with the Collective Bargaining Chamber, CBC. The Harare City Council has run out of water treatment chemicals, forcing the local authority to shut down the Morton Jaffrey water treatment plant. In a notice to residents, HCC said the Morton Jaffrey Waterworks would be shut for 2 days starting this past Wednesday. For more and latest stories, please visit our website on www.zimdaily.com or like our Facebook page at ZimDaily. You can also follow us on Twitter at ZimDaily or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Zimbabwe Daily. The Highway Code has now been translated into Shona and Ndebele, and printed copies are available at a subsidized cost of $5 each, or the equivalent in local currency, while government is working on translating the code into the remaining 13 other official languages. Until now, the Highway Code was available only in English, even though all road users, from drivers to old people and child pedestrians, are encouraged to read and study it. In a move to force businesses in Harare Metropolitan Province to comply with all licensing and tax laws and bylaws, police have charged 1,025 businesses and arrested their operators for operating in breach of regulations following the lapse of the final 7-day ultimatum for business owners to regularize their businesses. Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Harare Metropolitan, Mr. Tafatso Muguti, said issued an ultimatum warning businesses to be compliant with all regulations. More than 70% of businesses in Harare province were alleged to be operating in breach of regulations and bylaws. The Bulawayo High Court has ordered the reinstatement of former Bulawayo Deputy Mayor and Ward 3 Councillor Tinashe Kambarami. Justice Martin Makonese delivered the ruling Thursday. Back in 2019, the then Bulawayo High Court Judge Justice Thompson Mabikwa declared the election of Kambarami as Ward 3 Councillor null and void after the 1892 Mtwakazi Restoration Movement Trust and Nomalanga Bengwa had approached the High Court challenging his election. Kambarami, however, appealed the ruling at the Supreme Court, which overturned Justice Mabikwa's ruling. Bulawayo councillors on Wednesday hit out at the unfair parking system, which was imposed on the city's residents, with one warning fellow councillors that they were underestimating the depth of public anger. Councillors called for a review of the parking charges, which they said were too expensive. In other news, the Zimbabwe Republic Police will intensify its clampdown on errant drivers, traffic offenders, and illegal transport operators, mushikashika, raising fears of transport blues during next week's public holidays. Zimbabweans, in the face of chaotic transport system, have resorted to using mushikashika as a means of transport, and the clampdown will likely result in transport challenges. In May, when ZRP carried a similar operation, transporters were left stranded as the mass public transport system under ZUPCO failed to cater for the traveling public. Renowned Zimbabwean writer and filmmaker Tsitsi Dangarembga has said she sees nothing wrong with expressing her feelings through peaceful demonstrations and would do it again should another cause and opportunity arise. She was speaking to journalists after Harare Magistrate Barbara Mateko dismissed her application for discharge in case where she is accused of inciting violence during the 31 July 2020 protests against the government. Journalist Edmund Kudzai has filed his plea response to a High Court application in which Citizen Coalition for Change national spokesperson Fadzai Mahere is suing him for $100,000 for defamation. This comes after Kudzai wrote a story published on Kokorigo WhatsApp groups accusing Mahere of being in a sexual relationship with a married man, Harare businessman Tinashe Morapata. Artuz President Obert Masaraure was yesterday finally granted 50,000 RTGS bail and told to report once every fortnight to CID Law and Order between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. as part of the bail conditions. Now we take a look at the economy. Zimbabwe's sugar industry registered an 8% decline in sales into the domestic market for the first quarter ended June 30, 2022, owing to reduced production as well as reduced demand due to purchasing power constraints experienced by customers. Key industry player Hippo Valley has said the sugar sales declined from 91.6 thousand tons to 84.2 tons, reduced 84.2 thousand tons. Reduced discretionary incomes, currency shortages, high interest rates, exchange rate distortions, and the impact of high inflation on local currency are all seen as consequences of monetary policy uncertainty. Bulawayo police say the city's nefarious Vuzu parties were now a thing of the past. This was, however, contrary to media reports that school children planned to hold massive Vuzu parties after schools closed yesterday. Vuzu parties are known to be wild, characterized by beer drinking, drug abuse, and sex orgies. Bulawayo police spokesperson Inspector Bet Nico Ngube said they are aware of the messages that schools are closing and that some children might misbehave. Vuzu parties are no longer in existence and we have dealt with them effectively. More than 6,000 students graduated with diplomas and certificates in various disciplines at the Harare Polytechnic College this Friday. Some of the graduates said they were ready to provide solutions to societal problems. Harare Polytechnic Principal Engineer Chafazo Mdondo also said he was convinced the graduates were equipped with the requisite skills to respond to the country's economic challenges through sustainable homegrown solutions. Police claim they have been fair in implementing provisions of the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act (MOPA) and have instead blamed opposition parties and civic society organizations for failing to adhere to the Act's provisions when applying to hold rallies or protests. On several occasions, police have blocked the Opposition Citizens Coalition for Change (CCC) rallies and planned protests by CSOs. Ruling ZANU-PF party events have, however, never been barred or disrupted. National spokesperson Assistant Commissioner Paul Nyati said some of the reasons opposition rallies and protests by CSOs are barred included their failure to employ marshals and to stick to scheduled times, which police believe pose security threats. Nyati also said the opposition and CSOs were failing to advise local residents of their planned event. We take a look at our sport news. Former Warriors and Kaizer Chiefs midfielder Willard Katsande is set to retire from professional football and be named a brand ambassador for South African club Sekhukhune United. Napoli president Aurelia De Laurentiis says his club will not sign African players anymore unless they agree not to play in the African Cup of Nations. The tournament takes place every 2 years and normally runs for a month from early January midway through the season of Europe's top leagues, apart from in 2019 when it was held from June to July for the first and so far only time. Tottenham head coach Antonio Conte has outlined an aim to win the Champions League and Premier League ahead of his side's Premier League opener against Southampton this weekend. Spurs finished last season strongly to pip rivals Arsenal to fourth place and Champions League qualification. They've since been very active in this transfer window in order to beef up their club as they look for silverware this upcoming campaign, having not lifted a trophy since 2008. Richarlison, Everton's top goal scorer last season, arrived in a £60 million deal, while Ivan Perisic, Juves Bissouma, Jed Spence and Clement Lenglet on loan have also been signed. And EPL is back with Arsenal playing Crystal Palace tonight. And in the sad news that has been making round, Zim dancehall musician Killer T's bodyguard, who reportedly committed suicide over a cheating wife. The bouncer, identified as Mount Pleasant Boy, is said to have taken his own life in the early hours of yesterday in Harare. He reportedly sent his father, Prince Mutaguta, a suicide WhatsApp message. There claims he was having marital problems with his wife. Harare Provincial Police spokesperson Inspector Lakmo Chikanza confirmed the death. He urged people to engage third parties, elders and councillors, and the police to help resolve their differences. However, many versions are emerging on social media, even though all of them seem to point to one thing: marital challenges. Other versions claimed the couple separated a few months ago due to his habits of cheating on his wife. The couple has two children. Yet, Zimdeli, we urge people to approach counselors if they're having problems so that they get help. So that said story bringing us to the end of our news bulletin. Here are the headlines once again. Demand tumbles as Zim dollar runs dry. Government greenlights holiday lessons for exam classes only. Artuz leader granted $50,000 bail. Government disbands National Joint Negotiating Council. The Harare City Council runs out of water chemicals. Over 1,000 business operators arrested in Harare. Bulawayo councillors want parking system contract revised. Police to launch new anti-mushikashika blitz ahead of Heroes Holiday. Killer T bouncer commits suicide reportedly over a cheating wife. And in sport, Willard Katsande has retired from professional football. Thank you so much for tuning in and have yourselves a wonderful rest of day. God bless you.